Hey there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins with JD Cutlery putting together a quick video on the new Reate Mantis as well as a couple of the Jack Juniors. I haven't been very good about getting many YouTube videos out here lately, so I am going to try and get caught up on some of these newer Reate models just to keep you guys kind of up to date on what's going on. So this one, the Reate Mantis, is another of the Alvin Lee designs. So it is very similar, or actually I would say pretty much exactly the same when it comes to the mechanics of the assembly and disassembly of the knife as the Reate Tiger, which is another of the Alvin Lee designs. So again, it has the proprietary hardware that you need the special tool to get the pivot out, and then you've got, if you can actually see down in there, which you can't right now because of the lighting, I'll try and get a shot of that a little bit later, but you've got two size 6 torque screws that are in that backspacer that kind of sandwich everything together. So if you are looking for a disassembly, reassembly of this knife, you can definitely refer back to my Reate Tiger video where it's all taken apart and you can kind of see what you're dealing with. But let's go ahead and jump right into the specs on the Mantis. Really digging this knife. I like the thumb stud, the way they've done it. I've got something to color. It's pretty cool. It works well for your thumb. As far as flicking it with your finger, it is a little too sloped to get much grab to flick with your finger. I've been able to do it a couple times, but this one's definitely either going to be a thumb opening, or of course you've got the flipper tab. So let's see, basic specs on this one. The blade length is coming in at 3.6 inches. With an overall length of 8.3 inches. Cutting edge is 3.37, and the close length is 4.7. You do have an L-Max blade on this one with a thickness of 0.142. It is a sheepsfoot style blade with a hollow ground, and you've got a satin finish on the ones that I've got, a belt satin here. Unfortunately, I've already done a number of these, sold a number of these. I did have some of the hand rub that had the Zerk tie, thumb stud backspacer, and pocket clip, but I don't have those for the video at this point. So a number of different variations on it, and I'll kind of go through that in a minute. But of course, titanium handles, titanium hardware, with the exception of one side of the pivot, that is steel, so you won't see me coloring too many of these pivots because the side that's got the shaft for the pivot is actually a steel piece instead of titanium. So hard to color that one, but gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. And of course this is actually a liner lock versus a frame lock. I'll show you some video of that here in just a minute. And as always with the Reate stuff, it's running on ceramic bearings with a tip up right hand carry and an overall weight of 5.08 ounces. I don't think it changes much between the milled and the smooth. Everything is milled out on the inside, so you've got pockets that are reducing the overall weight of this guy. So overall, very happy with this one. I'm a big fan of the Tiger. I really like the operation. I like the way they design this to come apart and also to not show any of the screws. This one here is a satin finish with the nuclear green background and the bronze Superstorm treatment. I did go ahead and put the DLC pocket clip, thumb studs, and backspacer off of one of these others onto it just to give a little variation on this version. I really like that they've done the cutouts in the backspacer here. That definitely looks really sharp. Gives it just another level of... Oh, sorry. Having a hard time swallowing at the moment. Just a whole nother level of appearance, that type of thing. This is the smooth version, so the side of it is smooth. They have gone ahead and milled some lines in to the edges, just to give you just a little bit different feel to the edges. And that is all through here, and it goes smooth back here and on the very back. So operation on this one, definitely a good finger flick. That thumb stud works really well for opening with your thumb. And well, there you go. I did get a flick out of the finger flick. It just takes a little bit of extra because, as you can see, this is kind of ramped up, and it's a smooth ramp that it's easy for your finger to slide off of. So if you're going to finger flick it, you're going to try and get your finger actually below the edge, as close to that bottom edge as you can. There is a shot of your lock bar. Now you do have a steel lock bar insert here, so you are steel on steel for your lockup. And these guys just look really awesome. They do all have a cool pivot collar that pivot nuzzles right into. So definitely a lot of different levels to this one. This is the milled version, so, or they're calling it patterned. So they've milled out some more pattern into this one, just to give it a different feel. Definitely a little bit more to grab onto. I'm kind of back and forth. I really like the smooth for doing the work on, but I kind of like the way the patterned version fits in the hand, feels in the hand. I have polished out the pocket clip and the thumb studs and backspacer on this one, and done some really nice storm work. But yeah, those thumb studs just give you that little bit of extra pop for me to work on. So really digging the thumb stud for the appearance. And then here is another one of your smoothed with a green blue Superstorm on that backspacer, pocket clip, and your thumb studs again. So really turned out sharp. These guys center in just beautifully, and the action is really nice. The flipper tab has a really good flipping action. So very happy with the Mantis. Definitely, probably the happiest with the Mantis out of the most recent releases. I do have two of the Jack Juniors here. I have done a different video on this one. This is the smaller version with the aluminum integral. Then you've got a titanium lock bar that has a steel insert that screws in, and of course your titanium pocket clip. Very sharp looking knife, much more affordable because you've got the aluminum components versus the full titanium frame. And the storm treating turned out really nicely on this one. Just doing the pocket clip and lock bar. This one I did in the high voltage green purple, and also stormed it as well. But really cool version at a much better price point than the original jack that they produced that was the full size and the titanium. So these are all currently available. I do have more of the Mantis coming in soon, so expect to see more. Keep an eye out on the website if you're interested in picking up one. There'll definitely be more coming. So thank you for tuning in. Check us out on the website, and please drop a like in there and leave a comment if at all possible. As a smaller business owner and a smaller person on YouTube, definitely having a hard time with getting more followers. So if you can help my algorithm by dropping a comment in, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.